Moving on, talking of trouble, dark storms have clouded the cricket world once again. And yet again, it's the menace of fixing that's bothering the cricketing fraternity. The venue this time is Colombo and the target is the World T20. Here's a special report from Ground Zero.
Call it cricket's dark underbelly or the ugly side of the gentleman's game. The menace of fixing has reared its head once again. And this time, the target is the World T20 in Colombo. ICC sources have exclusively confirmed to headlines today that there are 200 match fixers who have checked into 2 5-star hotels in the Sri Lankan capital that are catering to the cricket teams and officials. In fact, there was a certain Spartan activity around the India-Pakistan game on Monday. What's more worrying for the governing body is the presence of women to be used as honey traps. While the ICC does not have exact numbers, they say there are thousands across the 3 venue cities in Sri Lanka.
As far as the board is concerned, we have taken the maximum precautions in consultation with the government and the security forces. But ultimately, it all boils down to the players. If they want to go and trap themselves, it's bad luck for them. The amount of things that they are going to lose in terms of getting into a situation like that is not worth in even for a player to think of. So in my view, it's players' responsibility versus support from the host nation, and we have done our best in terms of securing their security and various other aspects.
The ICC have alerted all the teams to immediately inform them in case of an unwanted approach. The Indian players too were briefed on Tuesday. The men in blue were handed out a list of directives which clearly states that no person would be allowed in the rooms. In fact, no direct calls can be made to players' room, while cricketers can't carry their mobile phones to stadiums even in switched off mode. Players' agents have also been barred from access to player rooms. Clearly, the ICC has sounded out the red alert. It's now up to the cricketers to show responsibility and thwart the lure of fixing.
Find him somewhere because he's gone hiding for too long.
Aware of the growing threat of honey traps being used by the betting and fixing mafia, the International Cricket Council and the host board is taking every measure to ensure the anti-cricket elements are at bay. But the onus of ensuring an incident-free World 2020 truly lies on the player themselves. In Colombo with camera person Siddharth Safai and Shweta Singh, Sundar Iyer for Headlines Today.
Right, let's go across first to Sundar himself. Sundar, it seems like the directives are stringent enough, but give us your assessment. Do you think that the precautions and the security measures are enough to ensure an incident-free World T20?
Well, Shivani, for one, we can say that the International Cricket Council, the host board, and the police authorities here in Colombo and Ambantota and Kandy near Palikale have taken every possible measure that they can. I mean, we know that the number of CCTVs have increased in each of the floors where the team players are staying and in the hotel lobby. There are no phone calls being passed through to the players' rooms. Importantly, like we mentioned in the story there, even the players are not allowed to carry their mobile phones on a switched off mode to the ground. And most importantly, player agents are also not allowed to visit the players. And the directives also advise each of the players not to go out and pose for pictures with fans whom they do not know. So they've asked them to limit their interactivity with people beyond their own team and possibly the media during the course of this tournament. And hence, yes, the ICC has taken every possible measure. We know there are a lot of police personnel who are doing the rounds, a lot of people in civil clothes who are there in each of these team hotels and moving around in the city. And during the India-Pakistan warm-up game, the sources did feel there was a rise in activity, suspicious activity from the mafia, the fixing and bookie mafia, and hence they've issued fresh directives to all the teams, and they've advised them to really exercise caution and bring to notice even that first unwanted approach that they find would be suspicious. So yes,
the reality of today's cricket is definitely that you have to live with the shadow of fixing on it, Nikhil, and this is where perhaps the exercise that the ICC and the ASCU carry out of just making the players more aware and teaching them just how to make sure that they don't become traps. This is where all of that will be tested, because ultimately it's the players' responsibility.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense when the ICC and the anti-corruption unit of the ICC look to educate the players. I think that'll make a big difference. And since they're the governing body of cricket, I think they need to go out there and take every possible step to make sure that this betting and fixing mafia is nowhere close to the players, and will try and eradicate any sort of misdoings.
Absolutely, but at the end of the day, it just is becoming a huge reality that cricket has to deal with. There's always going to be a threat. Sundar and Nikhil, thanks a lot for joining us. Looking forward to hearing from you again.